let's keep moving up your ranking. We'll get to Purdy in a second here. So at 11, you had Jordan Love, and that's someone that a lot of people listening to this show are going to be a little upset about, that he's not in your top 10. So why did you have him behind guys like Goff and Purdy and even CJ Stroud? A lot of people are comparing Jordan Love and CJ Stroud since they both broke out in the same year. What made you rank him behind those guys who cracked your top 10?
It's just an issue of how much evidence we have of their performance, right? CJ Stroud and Jordan Love are interchangeable, basically. Both of them played about as well last season. I liked Stroud slightly more because there were slightly more good games. You can flip it. I'd have no problem with that. The thing is from both of them, we've seen a little more than half a season of really good play. Jared Goff, you've seen 5 or 6 seasons. Trevor Lawrence, you've seen 2. Purdy, you've seen 2. Burrow, Lamar Jackson, like all those guys have just been around longer. So when I'm weighing how likely is it that this guy will continue to perform at that level, you have to look at how long have they done it. Because not anyone, a few guys can get streaky. It happens sometimes. It's less and less likely it's a streak the more games in a row they do it. Mm-hmm. So I fully expect at least one and probably both of Love and Stroud will be higher. But people, I think, are too quick to anoint these guys as the next elite quarterbacks in the NFL. There's still a decent chance that one of them or even both of them don't get much higher than they're at now.
Well, I mean, that's where we are, too. Every time, I just got off producing NBA shows, and every single time someone got hot during the playoffs, if it's Anthony Edwards or Luka or Shea, every single outlet is coming out saying Anthony Edwards is the best player in the world. Anthony Edwards has taken Luka Doncic's best player in the world. Most people, who are watching basketball are saying, okay, Nikola Jokic is the best player. He just lost. He just had they had a bad series. They lost. You're seeing that a lot in football too right now, where Jordan Love got red hot, and a lot of people are going to have him higher than I have him at 9. Some people have him 6, 7 on these lists. I mean, I saw someone who said he would take him number 2. Mike Tannenbaum, right? Said he would take him number 2 in a draft of all quarterbacks for the next 5 years. I think I put him at 9. I actually had him ahead of Trevor Lawrence. I had him ahead of Aaron Rodgers. The final 10 games is really what everyone's looking at. That's the discussion around Jordan Love. 7-3 record, about 70% completion percentage, 23 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, 112.1 passer rating. That is what you're judging Jordan Love on right now. People,
and that's what he's about to get paid on.
Yeah, that's what he's about to get paid on. The people who have him outside that top 10, 12, they're talking about those first 9 games where he struggled a bit. He was inaccurate. The ball placement wasn't quite there. If you're buying Jordan Love, you're buying those 10 games. And for me, the reason I'm buying them, and again, I'm a Viking fan. I'm not happy about this at all. I just played golf with a Packer fan who were talking about Love's emergence. The way he looked showed it didn't look like a spoof. Watching those games, the athleticism, the ball placement, this wasn't like getting lucky. This was, this guy's threading the needle. Like, it looked like it clicked. So that's why I have him at 9 there. I mean, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He was lighting the league on fire. And then CJ Stroud, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. It's protected the ball like crazy in an offense that we all thought. I said on the last episode, we were making fun of Houston because no one could name players on their team. Like even Houston beat reporters, it seemed like, couldn't name people on their team. And for him to take that team to the playoffs after they were 3-13-1, I was really impressed. So I have him a little bit ahead of Love as well because he did it for the whole season. And I just thought that Houston team was carried more than Green Bay. So I like that there. Let's see. All right. So I had Rodgers at 11 and you had him down at 15. I still think that there's that MVP Aaron Rodgers in him. Are you expecting him to come out and just be an old man and the Jets to get crushed next season?
The last time we saw MVP Aaron Rodgers, he was 36, 37. He's 40 now.
I mean, it's 2 years. It was 2 years ago.
2022 Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry, it was a decent season, but like 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The most interceptions Aaron Rodgers had thrown since his rookie year.
Yes, sir. What did he have? A hand injury? Did he have the hand injury?
Yeah, he was hurt. No question about it. But we have not seen Aaron Rodgers play at an MVP level since 2021. And as you get older, right. It just becomes less and less likely, in my view, and in general, that you're going to be able to reclaim that magic. Now, as you say, if anyone can do it, It's Aaron Rodgers, who's in 2020 when everyone, including the Packers organization, had close to written this guy off, had a career revival, the likes of which we've never seen, and then did it again in 2021 when everyone said it was a fluke. If anyone can do it, it's this guy. There's no question about it. And I'll be honest, right? When it was Tom Brady's time, every year I said, this is the year Tom Brady's not going to have it. And then he won a Super Bowl. So I'm not guaranteeing I'm right, but in general, I back out on players once I see them start getting old and see a stretch of medium play. I'm not convinced that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do it coming off the injuries he's had.
Yeah, and of course the news now with Rodgers is skipping some of the OTAs, which
whatever.
Yeah, we don't really care about that. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, bad sign ahead of the season for him to already look like he's not 100% invested." I don't really care about it. Show up to training camp, get the job done. I expect Rodgers to do that. I've said this before. I always kind of lean into these legends a little bit more, maybe than I should. Like, I think that they can get the job done. And a motivated Aaron Rodgers. The last time we really saw a motivated Aaron Rodgers, I thought, was before the 2020 season when he did win MVP. So health is obviously a huge factor. We're assuming they're healthy on these rankings. Rodgers could easily come out. Yeah, he's 40 years old. He could come out and get hurt again very quickly. He lasted 4 plays last season. So I had no problem with you ranking him at 15. That wasn't the guy I was going to get on you for. I just believe in him a little bit more, it seems, than you do. Okay, so there you go. Why don't we read them one more time, Ziggy? Why don't you read your tiers and your rankings for anyone who skipped ahead in the show and didn't listen to the whole thing? Your top 20 quarterbacks with the tiers for next season.
Tier 5, 20 Anthony Richardson, 19 Deshaun Watson, 18 Baker Mayfield, 17 Tua.
And tier 4 can play ball tier, right?
Do you want me to do the names?
I like the names. I thought the names.
The names. They're the correct names. Yeah, it's the can play ball tier. Tier 4, the better than the alternative tier. 16 Kirk, 15 Aaron Rodgers, 14 Kyler Murray, 13 Jalen Hurts. Tier 3, will win you games tier. 12 Matthew Stafford, 11 Jordan Love, 10 CJ Stroud, 9 Jared Goff, 8 Trevor Lawrence, 7 Brock Purdy, 6 Joe Burrow, 5 Lamar Jackson. Little Stafford Jackson sandwich there. Tier 2, borderline elite. Number 4, Dak Prescott. Number 3, Justin Herbert. Tier 1, elite. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
I love the borderline elite tier 2 name. That is so funny.
To be elite is a hard thing to do, Paul.
Yeah, no, you're right. It all comes down to how you define elite. And it's just funny to me that you don't like Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. They're not sniffing.
They're not even
borderline elite. Okay, for me, tier 5 was the young guys and Baker. I had Anthony Richardson at 20, Caleb Williams 19, and Baker at 18. Tier 4 was the average guys, or roughly average guys who can get red hot. 17 Tua, 16 Brock Purdy, 15 Kyler Murray, 14 Jared Goff, and 13 my guy Kirk Cousins. I have so many Kirk Cousins shirts just lying around. Like, I chose the wrong year to invest in Kirk Cousins merchandise. I'll keep wearing it, but disappointing. Tier 3 for me, guys with top 5 potential. These are guys that I would not be surprised at all if they finish next year in my top 5 for the season, or top 5 in really any category. They're that talented. 12 Jalen Hurts, 11 Aaron Rodgers, 10 Trevor Lawrence. And we didn't really talk about Lawrence, but if you go back, our last episode did a lot on him. We have a breakout video that Ziggy said is an all-time bad performing video for this channel on Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, 3 days late on a Jaguars story isn't really the recipe for success in this industry. 9 Jordan Love.
Give the people what they need.
Yeah, right. 9 Jordan Love, 8 CJ Stroud, 7 Dak Prescott, 6 Matthew Stafford rounds out tier 3. Tier 2, the challengers to Mahomes, 5 Justin Herbert, 4 Lamar, 3 Josh Allen, 2 Joe Burrow. And then in a tier by himself is Patrick Mahomes, the 2-time league MVP, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and 3-time Super Bowl MVP. Can't believe, like, a few years ago, I think 3 years ago, I said I would have traded 5 first-round picks for Patrick Mahomes. I think I would still trade 5 first-round picks for Patrick Mahomes.
You should trade literally anything you should trade your entire team for Patrick Mahomes.
It's I wish, man.